Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Give me a second while I go live on Instagram. So yesterday we had I think I'm gonna have a camera issue. I should have. The camera might shut off once in a while. I'm okay with that. It's gonna be a short video anyway. I wanted to tell you guys if the camera does go shut off, I'll just keep going. But basically, yesterday was a. Let me just show you guys. Give me a second. What's up, man? Good morning. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. If the camera shuts off, I'm going to just try to turn it back on, but I messed up on the settings, but it's all right. Anyways, yesterday I gave away this one, the Red Sox at a plus 107. So that more than doubled the money. And then the Dodgers lost. So that was sort of a break even on those two. And then we had two batters to get a hit, which was Salvador Perez and Luis Arias. We also had one under RBI, which it didn't hit, but for some reason it didn't pop up on my reports. So either way, it was a 3-2 day. So it was a little bit of a profitable day, not much, which is cool. It wasn't a losing day. So what I was thinking of doing is kind of going over this thing here. So there's only 3 games today. There's not a lot to talk about, but I am going to hook you guys up with something very important. So stay tuned for that. Let me just kind of talk about this real quick. On this here, there's three games today, but now I can easily see why I'm staying away from these games. So for example, the Yankees, they opened at a 118 and now they're at a 110. So automatically that's already going in the wrong direction. However, the projections show that the Yankees should win this game by 57%. Money and Rays and for both teams are tight. They're pretty much the same thing. So it's stuck right there. It does say the win probability over here. So another contradiction. So because of the batting, the pitching, all that stuff, it does say that the Rays should win this game. Here, let me get off camera actually for a little bit. So basically, it does say that the batting analysis and the pitching analysis and all that stuff, basically it's a consensus right here, which is 58%. However, like I said, if you start looking at all the projections, as far as the offensive grade, the defensive grade, all that stuff, it does favor the Yankees. So automatically I can see that there's too many contradictions. So I'm just going to skip that game. I go to Atlanta now, and the Reds did beat the Dodgers yesterday. So you can see here the Reds did open at a 146, and it's currently at a 156. So the line is shifting in the Reds' direction. They do have 73% of the money, 73% of the bets, 81% of the money. And what else? Now we go down here. The Reds do have Andrew Abbott, which is a much better pitcher. It doesn't give me any bullpen information, but then you also look at this here. There's some contradictions. But overall, the green is on the side of the Reds. So everything is actually matching towards the Reds now that I'm looking at this a little bit better. I'm still going to stay away from this because I gotta remember why. I didn't have a note on here. So I'm going to take another closer look at the Reds actually now that I see it. The Reds lost because Dodgers dropped the ball 2 times. The Reds lost yesterday? I don't think they lost yesterday. Let me see. Give me a second. Reds yesterday. No, the Reds won yesterday. You can see it's 5-2. So, the Dodgers lost. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it was a mistake. But okay, it was an error that Julio saying it was an error that caused the loss. But anyway, let's get back to here. The Reds actually look decent now that I'm looking at this. What was the reason I stayed away from this? I can't think of the reason why I stayed away from this. Now that I look at this, it's actually looking very good. So I'm going to take a closer look at this. I'll get back to you guys if I end up going with this. It does look like last 14 days, last 30 days, the Reds, they're pretty similar as far as the batting goes. They do have a worse OPS. I think that's what it was. Yeah, now that I think about it. That's what it was. The OPS for the Reds was they're ranked like 26th compared to the Atlanta Braves, which are ranked like 14th. So this OPS is very low compared to this one. And I think that's the reason I stayed away. They do have, the way I was going to put it is this: Andrew Abbott is very good. So if you go with the Reds, you're putting a lot of trust into the Reds pitcher, because Andrew Abbott is decent, but Atlanta and the bats are horrible. So like I said, you're putting a lot of, if you go with this play, you're putting all your eggs into the pitching basket for the Reds. I hope that makes sense. So let me turn the camera back on again. A second. So, anyways, having said all that, I don't like the Reds now that I remember. It was the OPS that turned it off for me. And then the Mariners, there's contradictions. There's not a lot of line move here. It does say the Mariners are supposed to win this game 62%. However, the money is all over Texas. 22% of the difference is coming in on Texas, but the line is shifting in the direction of the Mariners. So again, it's too many contradictions. Pitching does favor Seattle overall for the bullpen and everything, but then look over here. Look at all this red versus all this green. If you look closely, this for the last 30 days, 16 wins. I'm not going to go through every detail, but you can see everything is going towards Texas. However, the line is shifting towards Seattle. So that's what's good about having everything on one page, is that it gives you all the information pretty much on one page. So if you guys want access to this, it's the Sharp Edge. It's the tool in the description. And I actually don't have any plays today. I'm going to give you something very important, though. So stick around for this. If you go to the link in the description, make sure you get this. This is the only way you're going to get this. I'm going to put it out on Sunday. It's a report for offense and for defense for the NFL. So if you're doing any sort of fantasy football or anything like that, you're going to start getting these heads up. So I'm gonna give you a little glimpse of what that looks like, and that's right here. For example, this is all the wide receivers, the complete rankings for all the wide receivers, the best teams, the bottom 5 teams, the best running backs, the analysis for the top 5 teams, the bottom 5 teams, all that stuff. That's for offense. And then for defense, you got the top 10 front units, bottom 5 units, the key insights for all the teams, all the insights for the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to give away. I was thinking of actually selling that for $10, but I'm going to give that to you guys. Hold on one second. Let me actually put on my camera. Give me a second. Actually, never mind. It's going to take too long to try to mess with the settings. Anyway, so I'm going to give you guys that information for free. It's going to be the NFL 2 reports, one for offense, one for defense. If you guys want that, it's going to be right into free picks. If you're already getting my alerts whenever I post a free pick, then you're fine. But if you haven't done so, either scan this QR code right here or go to beastsportspicks.com and sign up for the free picks. And I'll be putting that out there on Sunday. It's going to be just 2 links, and just the 2 links are going to go to these reports that I just gave you. So it'll look just like this. And then you guys can take advantage of that. It's going to be pretty much preseason pretty soon. And you'll have the reports so you can do your fantasy football if you do fantasy football and all that stuff. So I hope that makes sense, guys. We'll talk about that. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be on here for a few more minutes. Pages dropped that easy-ass fly ball. Opened that anything up. Okay, yeah, I didn't watch the game, man. So seems like the Dodgers should have won that game. I wasn't paying attention to the game, actually. I just saw that they lost. So cool. Cool. All right, I don't see any other questions, guys. Let me see. Dodgers. So I don't have any batter props today. I sorted through all the batters. There's only 3 games. So the 3 games I already told you, there's too many contradictions. The batter props don't look good. The under RBIs, there was one guy for the Braves, but the Braves are supposed to go on the over. So there was a lot of contradictions like that where I don't like anything today. So I'm going to take the day off. as far as any betting goes. I do have my business partner in the Discord. He was talking about some WNBA stuff, but I don't think I'm going to put anything in today, actually. So if you guys want the NFL stuff, make sure you sign up for the link in the description under free picks. Can we use the data scraper for the NFL? Which data scraper are you talking about? Which data scraper are you talking about? I do have data scrapers for the NFL, but I don't think I've ever talked about them. They're just pretty much the last 10 games. That's all I have right now for those. I do have some scrapers for like passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, and then defense and stuff like that. But I don't know what you're referring to, if you're going to be able to use them. Oh, the edge for NFL? Yeah, definitely. That's something I'm working on. I have not started on it. I'm finally done with this page. I'm finally done with it. So basically, this took me very long time to do. It's like 6 weeks because I did it from scratch. But now anything that breaks or anything like that, I know how to fix it. So that's the reason I didn't pay somebody, because I wanted to make sure that if it breaks, I know how to fix it. So now that it's live, then I should have more time now. But I'm hosting a party this weekend, and then next weekend I'm traveling. So I'm going to tell you straight up that I probably will be very light next week. And after that, once I get back from vacation, I'll be hitting it hard. I do have a lot of things on my plate right now. I just created a walkthrough on somebody actually paid for me to train them. So that's also the link in the description. If you want to check that out, learn from us right here. You can go check that out. Somebody did already pay. I already told them that I'm going to start training them. So I've been creating a step-by-step process on how I come up with all these plays with the batter props, the RBIs. I'm going to start working on a new scraper for stolen bases. So there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I just got to get to it. So anyways, what I'm trying to say overall is I'm going to take a little bit of a break, because this was so stressful that I did not expect it to be that stressful, but it's because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And now that I do, it's basically coded and it's ready to go. Anyway, having said all that, once I'm finally done with this, which is very close, after that, I'm going to start working on other projects. I hope that answers your question. You said no props that I like. No, I don't like any props today. Do you think the Reds is a trap? I'm liking the Rays today. Mariners, Rangers over. When you lean on the Reds, Braves. Okay, so like I said, let me answer one question at a time here. So basically, the Reds I don't like. I already told you why. Basically, the OPS is very bad for the Reds. The pitching is great for the Reds. So if you're going to go with the Reds, it's going to be all about the pitching. Also, the over-unders on the Braves, it looks like it was at an 8.5, and it was actually still like staying up that high. So for me, that just ruined my under RBIs play. So that doesn't mean that it's going to go on the over. That just means that I'm not going to go with the under RBI. I hope that makes sense. What else? Where would you lean on and then the Mariners on the over? I didn't do any research on the over. Let me see if I have. I actually finally integrated. Let's see, what's the game? Braves. I finally integrated the over-unders. So if you go to the link in the description, go to Sharp, the Sharp Edge, and then put in the code Sharp as the code. You're going to get it 30 days for free, and you'll get all this for free. But basically, I did add the over-unders on all the games. So if there's data, it'll say it right here. So Atlanta games are trending on the over. The over hit 7 games out of the last 9 for Atlanta. I don't have any other information besides that, but you can kind of go in here and you can see how many runs, how many strikeouts. All right, I'm gonna stop with the camera. It's gonna keep going, but basically the last 30 days, it gives you all the data here. This gives you a lot of information on how many runs they get, how many RBIs, the on-base percentage, how many hits per game. This is based on the last 30 days. Then it also gives you the breakdown for the pitching. Pitching is very good today for the Reds, so that's going to hurt the over. Pitching is very bad for the Atlanta, which is going to favor the over. So that's a contradiction in my opinion. And then you got the pitching data here. Like I said, pitching is great for Reds overall. And then batting is very bad for the Reds overall. So again, too many contradictions to call. And that's all the information I have on that. All right. So let me turn on the camera and then I'm going to sign off here, guys. Go to the link in the description. Make sure you get the free picks. If you do the free picks, I'm going to hook you guys up with the NFL offensive and defensive reports that I created. All right, guys, let's have a great day. Thank you so much. And I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. If there's a lot of games tomorrow, there's stuff, I'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll be back either Sunday or Monday. But I'm going to give you guys the reports for free. You just go to the link in the description and click on free picks. All right, guys. Thank you.